Imagine this. In March 2003, in a small village in Iraq under the cover of night, a mysterious man was hiding inside an underground bunker. The entrance was cleverly concealed, covered with foam to avoid detection. Suddenly, the entire village plunged into darkness as the streetlights went out. Moments later, hundreds of American soldiers surrounded the village. Among them, one soldier approached the hidden bunker and found a rope, which led to a secret, hollow entrance. As they opened the concealed hatch, the soldiers prepared to throw in a grenade, ready for any resistance. But at that very moment, everyone froze. From the darkness of the bunker, two hands slowly emerged. Then a bearded man climbed out, raised his hands, and calmly said, "My name is Saddam Hussein. I am the president of Iraq, and I wish to negotiate." Seeing the situation, the American soldiers captured him without resistance. Later, U.S. President George W. Bush triumphantly announced to the world, "Ladies and gentlemen, we got him." You might have heard bits and pieces of this story, Saddam Hussein's hiding place, the dramatic capture, through countless short videos, memes, or posts circulating the internet. Maybe you even think you know the entire incident, but I can assure you, you've never heard the full story. Not like this, because for years, many details of this event remained hidden from the world. Because for so long, this story was kept hidden from the world. In this video, we will reveal how Saddam Hussein was ruthlessly captured from his hidden underground bunker and later sentenced to death. It all began when America and its allies launched their military campaign in March 2003, invading Iraq. U.S. President George W. Bush announced to the nation, "My fellow citizens, as of today, America and its coalition forces have declared war against Iraq. Our mission is to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to protect the world from grave danger." Under this justification, the United States formed a powerful coalition to overthrow Iraqi President Saddam Hussein. Their claim was that Saddam Hussein was secretly stockpiling weapons of mass destruction. President Bush declared to the world with certainty that Saddam Hussein had built an arsenal of deadly weapons. However, even to this day, those claims have never been proven true. In fact, after the U.S. forces invaded Iraq, they failed to find any weapons of mass destruction inside the country. The claims were later exposed as false, but by then, Iraq had already been invaded and Saddam Hussein had been captured. And so, a sense of frustration began to grow among the American soldiers. The pace of the war was incredibly fast. The United States and its coalition forces were advancing rapidly toward Iraq's capital, Baghdad. Tragically, within just 3 weeks, Baghdad fell to the American forces. But Saddam Hussein had vanished. After the fall of Baghdad, American soldiers marched to the heart of the city, standing before a massive statue of Saddam Hussein. It was there they declared their victory. The American soldiers raised their flag over the square, which sparked anger among the Iraqi people. They saw it not as liberation, but as the beginning of an American occupation. Realizing the reaction, the U.S. forces quickly replaced their flag with the Iraqi flag. Yet, Saddam Hussein remained a ghost. At that point, the U.S. military made it their top priority to hunt down Saddam Hussein and the key figures of his regime. To aid in this mission, they created a special Most Wanted playing card deck. The cards featured the faces of Saddam and 52 of his top officials, making it easier for soldiers to identify and capture them. Saddam Hussein was at the very top of that list. His two sons, Uday and Qusay, followed closely behind. The U.S. forces launched aggressive search operations to capture Saddam Hussein, but despite numerous missions, they found no trace of him. Frustration grew deeper. In a desperate move, the U.S. government announced a massive bounty, $15 million for information leading to the capture of Uday and Qusay, and a staggering $25 million for Saddam Hussein himself. It was a bold attempt to lure anyone tempted by such riches. The U.S. military was highly optimistic that these rewards would soon bring Saddam to justice. More time passed, but then, unexpectedly, the lure of millions of dollars worked. One day, a man walked into an American military base in the city of Mosul. He claimed he had provided shelter to Saddam's sons, Uday and Qusay. Though the American soldiers were initially skeptical, they launched a raid on the man's house the very next day, and in that operation, they were stunned. Because there, hidden inside, they found Saddam's two sons, Uday and Qusay. But Saddam Hussein's two sons refused to surrender peacefully. This forced the American forces to open fire on them. The U.S. military sent in additional troops, intensifying the assault on the building where they were hiding. The battle became fierce and brutal. In the end, both brothers were killed mercilessly. Even after the death of his two sons, no information could be found about Saddam Hussein's whereabouts, whether he was alive or dead. Shortly after the loss of his sons, Saddam Hussein, filled with grief and anger, released an audio tape expressing his sorrow over their deaths. This became undeniable proof that Saddam was still alive, and this new development opened a fresh lead for the American forces. Yes, this confirmed to the world that Saddam Hussein had survived. The U.S. government then announced a bounty of $30 million for anyone who could provide information leading to his capture. This huge reward tempted many Iraqis to come forward with secret information, offering intelligence to the American military. Even some of Saddam's personal bodyguards and former close associates began leaking critical information about his whereabouts. Based on these tips, the U.S. military learned that Saddam Hussein was hiding in a small village called Ad-Daur. The forces quickly launched an operation in the village, searching several farmhouses. At first, they found nothing. But eventually, a man named Mohammed Ibrahim found an opening in the ground. It was, in fact, the entrance to a hidden underground hideout where Saddam was concealing himself. And in this way, Saddam Hussein was finally captured alive. The U.S. forces succeeded in their mission, and President George W. Bush officially announced Saddam's capture to the world. Thus, the story of Saddam Hussein's hiding and capture became one of the most remarkable tales of modern history, a story that had been kept secret for so long. Tragically, even after Saddam Hussein was captured, the Iraq War did not come to an end. Instead, Iraq continued to plunge deeper into destruction, day by day. And today, we all know the dire condition of Iraq. Though the U.S. and its allies justified the war and Saddam's execution with claims of weapons of mass destruction, the world now knows that those claims were false, and Iraq has been left in ruins.